So, the question is TikTok getting banned in the US? It's a question that a lot of people have been asking recently. And India banned TikTok in 2020. I know that. It looks like on January 19th, TikTok will shut down. Sunday, January 19th, TikTok will be offline in all of the US. Why is TikTok getting banned? Is TikTok even getting banned? Because you have a lot of fake news out there. So I wanted to do the research for myself and find out the truth. It says here, why did Congress want to ban TikTok? US officials have repeatedly warned that TikTok threatens national security because the Chinese government could use it as a vehicle to spy on Americans or covertly influence the US public by amplifying or suppressing certain content. The concern is warranted, they said, because Chinese national security laws required organizations to cooperate with intelligence gathering. FBI Director Christopher Wray told House Intelligence Committee members last year that the Chinese government could compromise Americans' devices through the software. So looks like the US government doesn't like China, the Chinese government, to be more specific, to have any kind of influence over the American population. Also, it says here that Chinese government could compromise American devices. So they can actually manipulate our phones, our computers, through the TikTok app. They can do it. So this is the reason why America doesn't want TikTok, why the US wants to ban TikTok. Now, it says that there's a law that, bans TikTok. But what is that law? That's what I want to know, what that law is. TikTok v. Garland. TikTok v. Garland was a United States Supreme Court case brought by ByteDance Ltd. and TikTok on the constitutionality of the Protecting Americans from Foreign Adversary Controlled Applications Act, PAFACA. Based on the Freedom of Speech Clause of the First Amendment, the Bill of Attainder Clause of Article 1, Section 9, and the Due Process Clause and Takings Clause of the Fifth Amendment. The case was consolidated with Firebach v. Garland, a lawsuit filed by TikTok content creators against the law. So it looks like TikTok content creators filed a lawsuit against the law that, will ban TikTok in the US. Citing national security concerns, the US Congress passed PAFACA in April 2024 towards regulating social media companies owned by foreign corporations. So the law was in effect in April 2024. So the law was passed. Countries designated as US foreign adversaries and that have been determined by the president to present a significant national security threat, requiring these companies to divest themselves from the foreign entities. The law specifically named Chinese company ByteDance Ltd. and TikTok as foreign adversary controlled applications, requiring ByteDance to divest itself by January 19, 2025, or otherwise require the app to be removed from app stores. It looks like the US doesn't like TikTok because, it's a Chinese company. CBS News says the 170 million TikTok users in the US could be in for a rude awakening come Sunday. That's tomorrow. If they suddenly find the enormously popular video sharing app is inaccessible because of a law passed by a bipartisan majority in Congress last year. The Biden White House said it will leave enforcement of the law to the incoming Trump administration, and President-elect Donald Trump has vowed to save the app. On Saturday, Trump told NBC News he was considering an option to extend the deadline for the law to go in effect. So it looks like Trump likes TikTok and he's trying to save the app. So the new president coming to the US is trying to save the app. He's considering to add a 90-day extension to the ban of TikTok. The 90-day extension is something that will be most likely done because it's appropriate, he said in the phone interview, adding, "If I decide to do that, I'll probably announce it on Monday." So if there will be a 90-day extension on the TikTok app banning situation, it will be announced on Monday, January 20th. It says here, TikTok has hinted that it could still take itself offline once the law is in effect. A move that would leave content creators and users in the lurch as the company seeks a way to get back from a firm legal footing. So even if Trump gives it a 90-day extension, TikTok itself could just shut down. You know, it's up to TikTok, really, at the end of the day. I mentioned that India banned TikTok back in 2020, but I want to see if any other countries have banned TikTok. Context news. Which countries have banned TikTok and why? It says here, Afghanistan. The Taliban government banned TikTok in April 2022, saying it was misleading the younger generation. Albania. In December, Albania announced a year-long TikTok ban after a 14-year-old boy was stabbed to death by a fellow student after the two reportedly clashed online. The government says the ban is aimed at reducing youth violence, but right groups and business owners says it threatens commerce and free speech ahead of May elections. India, right here. India banned TikTok in June 2020 along with other Chinese apps after a border clash between India and China. Authorities cited concerns about data security and privacy, adding that the apps were prejudicial to India's sovereignty and integrity. Jordan. Jordan banned TikTok in December 2022 after a police officer was killed in clashes with protesters that broke out over high fuel prices. Authorities said that they were temporarily banning the app as it had failed to deal with posts inciting violence and disorder, but the ban remains in place. It says here, Kyrgyzstan, Nepal, Senegal, Somalia, Uzbekistan. You know, there's been a lot of countries that have banned TikTok. What impact have TikTok bans had on users? Content creators who had built their livelihoods on the platforms found themselves without an audience virtually overnight. They were forced to pivot and seek out new platforms to maintain their followings and revenue streams. It's a sad situation for those people that are making their livelihoods on TikTok, and it's their business. My biggest social media is TikTok, and if TikTok goes offline, I would lose my major promotion outlet to this channel. I use TikTok to promote this channel, and it would kind of suck if TikTok goes offline and then I lose my major promotional outlet. Countries that have imposed partial bans, such as Britain, EU countries, and Australia, may move towards full bans if the United States imposes ban. So if the US bans TikTok, other countries are gonna follow that up and they're gonna ban it too. Well, it looks like it's true. It looks like the US wants to ban TikTok. The law was passed. Now, Trump steps into office in a couple of days from now, and he wants to save TikTok. But Trump is only going to be in office for 4 years. So, does TikTok have 1 day, 90 days, or 4 years? Who knows?